So I want to talk about branding and how I feel businesses should look at a brand or to think about going about their brand design, or how businesses should think about going about their brand redesign. So a couple of businesses, always want to do a redesign or want to create this brand identity, but they don't know how to go about it, right? So what usually happens is that they hire or they call a couple of designers and they, ask them to show some logos they may have done in the past, and they just, go off the visual aspect of what they're being shown. This is completely wrong because a brand identity is not about the logo. In fact, even just a logo is about 5% of what makes up a total brand identity. But a lot of companies do not understand this fact. So I would just break down what a brand is and how businesses should think about building their brand identity. So at the core of a brand is basically your story, right? A brand is basically the story of your business, what you do and what you're trying to achieve and what the vision is for your business. A brand is basically how you go about telling that story and who you want that story to empower or who you want that story to impact. Your logo is basically a visual symbol that allows people to relate back to the stories that you tell. It has nothing to do with the stories, neither is it directly linked with the kinds of stories you tell. You can have any single thing as a logo, but your brand would always be the kind of stories you tell. So I would give some classic examples on brands that we all know, and let's try and dissect this brand. So let's talk about Nike, right? So we all know the Nike logo, right? The white swoosh. First of all, what does that swoosh even mean, right? If you were to own a shoe company called Nike and a designer designed you that swoosh, would you accept it as a good logo, or would you ask them to design something that has a shoe in it? See, the classic mistake most businesses make is that they want their logo to be a direct representation of what they do. This is a classical mistake, and every designer should be able to educate their clients to explain to them that a logo should not be a direct representation of what you guys do. There is no correlation between a swoosh and a shoe company. There's even no correlation between the swoosh and the company name. Now, not all logos, follow this. Like Apple is like actually an apple, but then what does an apple have to do with a phone company? Nothing at all, right? So a lot of businesses, they will say, okay, what I do is that I'm a lawyer, so I want my logo to have like a lawyer like hammer and the peace sign, and like I'm like, or you're a delivery company and you insist that your logo has to have like a delivery man like delivering something, or you're a fashion designer and you insist, oh, you have to have a needle and thread in your logo. But like that isn't necessary, because you're not trying to tell a story with your logo. You're trying to tell your stories and you're trying to create a logo that is memorable enough for people to, when they see, they can relate it to your stories. The key of all great logos is they have to be simple and memorable and easy for anyone to see and identify. Once you have a design that hits all these three things, then you have a good logo. Like, we need to stop being what's it called? objective, right? So objective about, things concerning a logo, because a lot of businesses don't actually understand how to build a brand, and they always try to tell a designer how they should go about doing their job. Like, if we think of all the best logos in the world, they have gone from complex to simpler. Apple's logo at first wasn't an apple. It was like a very weird abstract stuff, which I should show on the screen if I edit this well. And over the years they moved from that to the apple. Windows, same thing. It started from this very complex, advanced, like gradienty like stuff, to now it's just 4 squares. So the whole point of a logo is to make it easy for people to see and identify it. If you name any car brand in the world, their logos are insanely simple, right? The goal of a logo is to be simple, memorable, and easy for a user to identify. When you're trying to hire a designer to design your brand identity, what you should focus on instead is, does this designer understand our brand story? Not, does this designer know how to design a good logo? Because designing a good logo isn't hard. Chances are, if someone knows how to use any of the tools, they can design whatever logo they want to design in the entire world. Like using the tools is not that hard at all. Every designer can do whatever you literally ask them to do. But that isn't the quality of a good logo. A good logo should be simple, memorable, and easy for your users to recognize. So next time you are trying to go about your brand redesign, always keep in mind that as far as your core business stories remain the same, as far as you're telling the same stories, your logo can be anything. It can literally be anything. I feel like a lot of business people overthink it. Like, oh, they have this vision in their head of what they want their logo to look like. Your logo can be anything as far as it's simple, memorable, and easy for the users to understand. No complex things, there's no need, because the more complex your logo is, the harder it is for a user to remember it or even know how to draw it when they see it. So to all the businesses that are thinking about their brand, please ensure you're thinking about your brand as a story that you wish to share instead of a logo, because the logo is just 5% of what makes a brand. So, and also let me just plug myself right here. If you want to design a brand identity and you need a designer, you can always reach out to me. My email will be in the description below. And yeah, I think that is all for this video. If you have any questions on brand identity, let me know in the comments below so I can know what kinds of videos I should be creating. So if you like this, please click the like button and share. Have an awesome day. Thank you.